happening, guys? And welcome to another edition of Look What I Got! Today's episode I'm calling Magazine Madness. Because, well, hey, I don't have to go out and buy new shit all the time, then have to videotape it and show you. I already own stuff that I've already bought and I haven't shown off yet. Well, some things I have, but mostly I haven't. In today's episode, I thought it would be a cool idea to show some of the magazines that I collect. And, you know, hell, magazines, what are magazines? Oh, everyone just goes online for their information nowadays. And sure, that's convenient and all, but at one time, before internet really caught on, magazines were the way to get all your information. And you could go to grocery stores, newsstands, and wherever, and you could buy actual physical reading material where you can smell the pulp pages and just smell the retro whacked out memories you have just with having magazines and comic books. Well, today's episode is mostly magazines, but we're going to start off with just some comics. I don't have the greatest collection of comics. No, I don't. Mostly my big brother got me into collecting comics, and he had a great collection. I saved a lot of the ones that I liked from his collection, but here's just a few that I picked up on my own here and there, and whatever. They ain't the rarest, whatever. I don't give a fuck. I'm not here to fucking, look cool. I'm here to show off and, and show and share memories and things. Maybe, hey, maybe it rings a little, tugs a little heartstring of memory for you. So let's get this damn thing started. I got a big stack of literature right here, and we'll show it off. Okay, first we're going to start off with comics. We're going to have the appetizer, if you will. We'll start off with some comics, okay? So first we got Groo the Wanderer. Yes, Groo the Wanderer. This was a Marvel comic I used to collect in the 80s, and Groo the Wanderer was a comic character created by Sergio Aragon. Okay, now if you don't know who Sergio Aragon is, if you ever read a Mad magazine, you ever see around the little corners of the pages, little tiny cartoons? That was Sergio Aragon drawing that. He did that for years and years. He also, if you do remember a show in the 80s called Bloopers and Practical Jokes, he used to animate little cartoons between commercial segments and the segments of the show. That was Sergio Aragon's, and he did this awesome tale, this comic book, a tale of a stupid, absolutely retarded, stupid warrior without a brain going into and getting into many adventures. He was known for killing lots of people, and he had this dog, Roberto, who used to accompany him, and he used to get into hilarious adventures. I used to love reading this. Oh, smell them old 80s pulp pages. Every episode started with like a poem and like a big splash page right there. Just awesome stuff. Groo the Wanderer really grew on me. Grew on me. Get it? Grew on me. Here's one I got at Emporium in the antique shop in Cape May. Speedball. I don't know. I know nothing about this. But it looks pretty cool, huh? Looks like it was like the final issue or something, or I don't know. Feature? No, maybe not don't miss the final issue of Speedball. So this is issue 10. I don't know anything about it. Whatever. I'm not even gonna bother opening up it because we got lots to cover. This group of comics. I don't know if I have all of them, but I have most of them anyway. This comic was based on a toy series in the 80s called Crystar by Remco, and this is the saga of Crystar Comics. And the company Remco went to Marvel to find, to ask them to draw up idea for their next toy line. So Marvel came up with Crystar, and it's really neat comic. It follows the exploits of a crystalline superhero humanoid who fights evil wizards and stuff and magic, and it's kind of rustic meets futuristic, apocalyptic. It's really cool. I think like one of the issues like was done by I don't know, like the band, the punk rock band, the Misfits did the cover or something. He drew up like I don't know the Misfits skull, Misfits artwork or something. It's Chris Starr Comics. Episode 10. Pretty cool stuff, guys. I love the backs too. There's like there's a commercial for Kool-Aid Man Atari game and television game. Here's another ad for an Atari game, Tutankhamun. You know, pretty fun stuff. I don't know if there's any more backs. None that I want to get into. Because hey, we got loads of stuff and time ain't what we got, right? I don't want to waste too much of your time. Now, speaking of 80s toys, here's a rare toy line that came out in the 80s, around mid-80s, maybe 85, 86, by Hasbro. And they were little miniature figures, okay? And they rode on wacky science fiction, whacked out apocalyptic vehicles. And it was called Air Raiders. And they rode on vehicles, and they were little miniature men, kind of like masks, and you put them in vehicles. But they were all about like, oh, the like air is precious, and you know there's no more air, so they gotta fight for air and stuff like that. You know, I don't know, pretty cool. You know, like it was neat, and all the like rockets, the missiles on the vehicles, they were like air powered. You would squeeze the thing, you go, you know, they would shoot out and hit your friend in the eye. You know what I mean? Here's pretty cool stuff. I don't know. I'm trying to look for a cool little page. Like here's a picture of like one of the vehicles. I had that vehicle, you know, and just cool artwork and stuff. You know, that's Air Raiders. I don't know the history of Air Raiders. I bet anything probably like Hasbro went to Marvel Comics, Subsidiary, Star Comics to make up a story for the Air Raiders. That's probably what happened. Getting near the end of the comics, warm up. We got a 1970s comic, The Micronauts. Look at that. Isn't that killer? Yeah, that's killer, ain't it? And I got this also at the Antique Emporium in Cape May. Beetle Bailey from Charlton Comics. Isn't that cool? Hey, anyone remember the Sunday Funnies? I do. Man, what happened to the Funnies, man? No one talks about their favorite cartoon characters and Peanuts and stuff like that. I used to always wanted to be like Charles Schultz, be an animator and cartoonist like Charles Schultz. No one talks about cartoons and comic strips anymore. Well, I love them, and I love Beetle Bailey. Here's the last comic. It is a crazy rare. Looks like 1964 from Dell Comics. It was 12 cents. Kona, Monarch of Monster Isle. Look at this. Isn't that pretty neat? Isn't that a honey? Pretty fucking cool, huh? Let's open it up, huh? Let me show you some. Oh, what's the back got? Oh, back's got Wonderful World of Disney, like commercial. And yeah, Kona. I don't know much about this either. I haven't even read this yet. But oh my God, smell that retro. If only you could smell those pages. Here, smell, guys. You can take a smell for me. Can't you smell that musky, old cellar attic smell that turns your pulp pages into that retro, memory smell? Oh, man. Look at this. They're fighting a bunch of monsters and like giant dinosaurs, lizards, and, you know, crazy mutated monsters. That's pretty cool, man. There's like a giant eagle and a giant lizard. You know, what else they got? They're fighting in a like bird's nest. Look at that! Like this guy's caught in the snare of a giant insect. Ooh, gripping, shocking, suspenseful adventure, only which Kona, Monarch of Monster Island, can give you from Dell Comics. You know, really cool stuff. There's a bunch of like stampeding apes and shit. It's pretty cool, man. And yeah, pretty cool stuff, guys. Okay, so that wraps up the fucking comic books. Now, the main course. Let's start with the magazines. What's this? This ain't a magazine. Oh, look. It looks like it's a letter from Remind Magazine. I didn't open up to renew my subscription. Well, guess what? I don't need to renew my subscription. You know why? I subscribe to this little magazine called Remind Magazine by the same makers of TV Guide. And they do little articles about old TV shows and old toys and cereal commercials and ads and whatever. And really cool magazine. But I subscribed. My subscription is over. But they keep sending me new magazines. I'm not even paying for it. You know, but they keep sending me reminders in the mail to renew my subscription. I'm like, dude, I don't have to. You're like giving me free subscription. So, you know, I just wanted to show you Remind Magazine. It's pretty cool. You know, here's like, you know, an 80s issue. You know, it's a neat little magazine for people who like old, you know, TV shows mostly. You know, and there's like puzzles, like word searches and stuff like that. You know, I don't know, like cars, like, you know, old cars and stuff. Here's stuff about old 80s sitcoms and stuff. You know, 80s. Where are they now? You know, here's another one, Remind Magazine with like Sonny and Cher. You know, here's a Where Are They Now? Anne Margaret issue. Here's oh, look at this one. Vintage cigarette commercials. There's Ronald Reagan, a young Ronald Reagan, posing for Chesterfield cigarettes. You know, there's a 70s disco issue. You know, here's a fucking Superman issue and stuff. There's 1970s fall TV issue. You know. Oh, sorry. I'm not hitting puberty. Believe me. That was like a burp that was supposed to burp, but it didn't burp. Here's like another one. Here's a Halloween issue there. And here's like the current issue, November. This is, you know, TV family diner issue with one of my favorite TV sitcoms from the 70s of all time, All in the Family. Archie Bunker, hey there, Enid, why don't you go fuck off with Meathead over there, huh? Anyway, let's move on now, okay? We got some now, some of my favorite magazines, comedy magazines. Mad and Crack, baby. So let's show you. Here's a Mad issue from November 1989, featuring, you know, fucking, what's his name? Fucking Roger Rabbit. And Benny the Cab's Alfred E. Newman. Isn't that funny? Look at the back. Decision 98. Dukakis or Bush? Dukakis or Bush, guys? Who are you voting for? I say don't vote for any of them. They're all corrupt. Anyway, let's not get political. But we are going to stay political because here's another Mad issue. Here's another Ronald Reagan cover of a magazine. Mad Magazine. Look at that. Alfred E. Newman giving the red carpet treatment to Ronald Reagan, literally. And it looks like Ronald Reagan fell. Funny stuff. And, oh, you know what? At some point in the 80s, Crack became my favorite comedy magazine, too. But this is a Crack issue for Jurassic Park. Say Jurassic Park. You know, it's great looking at all these. Look at all this stuff. Look, this one Crack had Don Martin. This is when Don Martin, the famous cartoonist, left Mad Magazine and joined Crack. So as you can see, Crack Magazine in the 80s, like I was saying, became one of my favorites. And here is a Crack Magazine from the 70s. It's the Fonzie issue. Hey! Yeah, love some Fonz. And you know what? Maybe we'll open this one up. It's a special one, you know. Wow, good condition. Oh yeah, look, there's Crack. Renew your Crack. Subscribe to Crack Magazine. Always love like their caricatures of celebrities. Look at that. I mean, come on. You can't reproduce this kind of genius. You know, look at that artwork. That's beautiful, you know. Beautiful. Sports oddities. just fun stuff, you know. Just fun stuff. Alright, let's put you back. And we'll want to go on. But moving on from comedy magazines to one of my favorite specialities, Asian cinema. Oh yeah, I love Asian cinema. And I got to know about lots of B movies and rare cult movies through these magazines. And the first one is G-Fan. I mean Godzilla. That's right. This is a fan magazine made by Godzilla fans. And it was always, I don't know if they still make it anymore, to tell you the truth. But it was always, this is from April 1995. This is a plethora of information. Dude, it's cool. They have so old trail, commercial ads for upcoming movies back then. They have articles about Godzilla and fan-made stories about Godzilla. Articles, in-depth articles about specific kaiju movies and photos alongside. Just really neat stuff that came out in the 90s, Now here's something cool. Like they had ads for places you could order Godzilla toys, imported Godzilla toys, and VHS that you couldn't get anywhere. That's what I love about these old magazines, Here's another issue of G-Fan right there. Look at that art. Isn't that art cool? I tell you, the Godzilla fan base has really cool artists. And here is my favorite old Asian cinema magazine, Oriental Cinema. I always talk about Oriental Cinema to people who are my friends because Oriental Cinema told me all about Tokusatsu back in the 90s when it wasn't cool to, like giant monsters, kung fu, Japanese kid superhero shows, Ultraman, Sentai shows, the Power Ranger shows, inside Damon Foster, the editor and writer, would give you absolutely in-depth reviews and brutally honest, hilarious commentary on and his opinions on different Oriental cinema. Here's an issue. Ooh, Zinga! Look at those boobas. Woo! Yeah, they even reviewed skin flicks and stuff. Here's a cool back magazine cover of the classic 1980 Chinese cinema spooky encounters with Sammo Hung. And here's another magazine made by Damon Foster that wasn't called Oriental Cinema. It was Heroes on Film. And it's delved into different country superheroes, like the Fantastic Superman from Italy, and Mexican cinema, like Santo movies and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So, pretty cool, guys. Pretty cool stuff. Okay, now moving on to one of my favorite kind of magazines. I call them horror rags. And these were comics and magazines all about old horror movies and stuff. So first I'm going to start with a comic. Yes, we're getting back to comic. And this is a newer one that's made nowadays. And I usually go to the store Books A Million. I don't know if everyone has a Books A Million near their mall areas. They call it BAM, Books A Million. But they sell this. And it's a comic book with spooky stories, kind of like, Tales from the Crypt or fucking, I don't know, one with the Crypt Keeper and, what's it called? Tales from the Dark Side, all that stuff. Anyway, it's called Shudder. And, it's really cool. It's like a black and white magazine rag with cool stories, see? Greetings, monster maniacs. The glint in your beady little eyes tells me you're ready for another scare session with our terrifying troop of vampires, werewolves, mummies, zombies, and creatures unnamed. Join me, old Aunt Shudder, and enter the mind-altering world of Shudder. See, there's the host for the magazine, Aunt Shudder. Okay, and then here's another issue. There's the back of that one. Here's another issue. Here's the back of that one. And like here's the inside too, like just to give you a little like, like I say, there's different artists doing various different scary stories. Really cool. Well, it's not ripe yet. Give it 20, 30 years. These pulp pages will start smelling like beautiful memories. Lots of cool stories. Check it out. Cool artists too. Next, I'm sure in the world of horror movie magazines you've heard of Famous Monsters of Filmland. Well, here I got some now. I just want to show. I always love the art of Famous Monsters of Filmland's covers. Look at that. It don't get much more beautiful-er than that. Is that a word? Beautiful-er? I don't know. But, yeah, there's that one. Here's another one. Here's Frankenstein from the Hammer film. Frankenstein. Here's one with the Wolfman. And they even covered, look, like Shock Rock and stuff. Look, here's a Kiss issue. This is a double cover. Great. And here's the ultimate original shock rocker, Alice Cooper. Got an issue cover. And look on the back. It's all Vincent Price. Everyone's favorite horror movie host. Oh, here's some more horror rags I got. This one's called, again, I buy this at Books A Million. A little expensive, but it's really thick. They're like about 20 bucks each. It's called Scary Monsters. And what the name implies, it's all about old scary monster movies. Pulp pages, black and white, like I like them, baby. Woo, yeah, look at that. It's cool. Look, there's Gazora from the Japanese monster movie Yog from Outer Space, aka Space Amoeba. Look at that shit. Oh man, look at this. Look, the making of like just model making, monster model making. There's fucking just all sorts. Look, exploitation flicks, she-demons, like Nazi exploitation horror flicks. Just all kinds of shit. Like here's another cover. I love it. Look at that sci-fi horror cover. That's just so badass, huh? You can just look at the covers. Are just cool as hell. And here's the last horror rag I got. And in Underground, this is a pretty kind of well-known, popular magazine, Castle of Frankenstein. Just another one of just fine publications that were made, owing their whole livelihood to showing you the joys of old monster films. Look at that in the back, it got the mummy. It's great. Okay, guys, we're wrapping up now. So this is, we're going to wrap up our monster rags with this one. It's a special one, too. A Fangoria magazine. And it's from let's see. Let's find out, shall we? Oh, man, I can't 1980, right here. Look at this. It's an old 1980 Fangoria magazine. Isn't that cool? Oh, man. Yeah, look, they got TV special, Salem's Lot, Spock and the New Aliens of Star Trek, The Body Snatchers, and more. Look at this. Beauty. Horror beauty. Scream queen for you. The Wizard. Here's an article about The Wizard of Gore. Ever see that cult horror movie? Ooh, boy, was that gory for its day, boy, let me tell you. Look, article about Curse of the Demon. And this issue was given to me by my good friend Matthew. And look, there's Nosferatu or Salem's Lot. Sorry, got mixed up my bald vampires. But yeah, this was a special issue about Japanese robots too, and it came with a poster of a Shogun warrior. Look at that. Isn't that cool? That's cool, ain't it? All right, guys. All right, now our last section, oddities, and this is actually my favorite section. I know I can talk. This is one of my favorite sections, and it's all various oddities. These first couple magazines are like cult cinema magazines. So there's a couple. There's a couple. This one's called, Shock Magazine. Shock. I mean, come on, you can tell by the name of it what it's about. Look, articles about Adrienne Barbeau and all that. It's got like a lot of like different, not just horror, sci-fi, but just different weird cult movies, strange cinema. Just just all sorts of wacky like reviews and stuff. And this is produced in New Jersey too, by the way, where I live. But yeah, lots of cool stuff. Just cool articles about all kinds of things in cinema. Here's the next one. Here it is, Videoscope magazine. This is my favorite like cult cinema magazine. They have all sorts of cool stuff. Videoscope, Grindhouse streaming, drive-in sci-fi classics, wild, weird fest. Just like all sorts of weird films, horror, cult, and whatnot right here. Like we got a commercial for the Tarzan collection. Buy the Tarzan cereal collection, the movie collection. All kinds of stuff. Nice black and white pulp pages. There you go. Reflections on Malibu Bay. With babes with guns. Yeah, baby, yeah. Just all sorts of stuff. Here's another issue of Videoscope. It has it's the special Asian Palooza edition of Videoscope. It has Sonny Chiba in it. Look at this. Commercials for 4K versions of the British kaiju classic Gorgo. Again, black and white pulp pages, black and white, with color too. It's mixed. It's a great publication, man. Just makes my mouth water. All the tomes of knowledge here about cult cinema. Here's just all kinds of stuff. Here's like gang, Japanese gang movies. Just all sorts of fun stuff. The Last Dragon. Just all sorts of fun movies. Just the giant Gila monster. Just pulpy, whacked out goodness. Okay. Also, for retro fans, there's another magazine I get from Books A Million. Bam. It's called Retro Fan, and it's about all sorts of retro fun goodness. Okay, look at that colorful cover. It just makes you yearn for the old days, the good old days. Look at this. Look at this shit. Look, Revenge of the Creature and Black Lagoon memorabilia. Just awesome stuff. Color Forms article. There's Beatles stuff. Just like when's the last time you thought of Color Forms? Just like movie articles. There's something like The Simpsons on it. Just all sorts of whacked out stuff. But look at this. Here's an article about the making of the Flash Gordon Saturday morning cartoon from the late 70s and early 80s. Just amazing tomes of knowledge. Here's another issue of Retro Fan magazine. It has articles about, Superman. And look, the back cover has all the back issues of Retro Fan. So many issues. Retro Fan, just magazine, just awesome. Just so much beautiful publication. High quality pages. I mean, an article on the old Max Fleischer Superman cartoons. When cartoons were cartoons. Articles about, here's some fucking weird comic books. Weird comic books. You know what I'm saying? That if that's your thing, it's definitely up my alley. It's weird shit, whacked out, crazy, fun shit. Retro Fan magazine. Pick your copy up at Books A Million. And this isn't a commercial, but it's just fun. I want to share the joy. And here's another publication I get at Books A Million too. Whatever. Hey, don't judge me. Hey, I enjoy the beauty of the female body, and yes, Barely Legal magazine. Hey, I like a little smut, some little filth in my life. Who doesn't? Well, I'm not going to open up the pages for you, you dirty little bastards. But, you know, I enjoy these magazines. I miss, you know, everyone watches porn on the internet these days. But, you know, everyone forgets about the old-fashioned way. Magazines. Vaseline magazine, baby. Yeah. Here we got an issue of Heavy Metal magazine. Hey, look, it's an old 90s issue, I believe. No, this is from 2001. And come on, man. Do I need to explain what this is all about? All short stories. You know, heavy metal inspired weird stories about warriors and monsters and just crazy stuff like that. Well, that means it's 12 o'clock. That's my clock in my room, the Andyland clock. It's a Super Mario clock. And whenever the hour changes, he gets that many coins. So that was 12 coins, so that means it's 12 o'clock. Hey, you might have seen this on a previous episode of Look What I Got, but Dynamite Magazine. This was a really popular kids magazine back, you know, in the late 70s, early 80s. You know, and this one had, you know, an interview with, you know, the guy who acts as C-3PO about when Return of the Jedi was new. You know, there's like pictures of dogs. Even back then, people were obsessed with, you know, pet pictures. You know, you think today was bad. Ooh, you should have seen back then, you know. What else they got? Just like, you know, there's like talk, you know, talking about kid issues, I guess. Just wacky, stupid, like, retarded, ridiculous. Dynamite's delicious, luscious slushy. He's like slushy recipes, okay? People are into that still. They're into being fit. There's chocolate pudding pop slushy. Well, you can't make that anymore because fucking pudding pops, they don't make pudding pops anymore. Jello pudding pop. Bill Cosby did a commercial for Jello pudding pop. Jello pudding pop. New at Temple University. Just drug someone's slushy up and then you can have their way with her all right long without her knowing. Yeah, just kidding. I like Bill Cosby in the 70s, and I don't like what he did. Whatever, you know, just fucking around. So you know what? If you can't take a joke, fuck you. Fuck you. Okay, here's another magazine. Okay, we got 3 more, guys. And these are my 3 favorites of today's episode. I used to get this when I was a kid. I loved Atari video games. An actual 80s issue of Atari Age magazine. Look at that. And this is the Atari Video Cube issue of Atari Age. You know, back in the 80s, the Rubik's Cube was a sensation. While Atari got into the racket and made their own Atari Video Cube video game. And there's an article about it right here, you know. So, and, you know, here it is. And we'll open it up. Full color pages, beautifully made. I can still smell it like it was yesterday, like I was a kid reading about my favoriteest video games, like all the new games. There's something about like Defender coming out for the 2600. Just a great magazine. You had to join the Atari Club and you got this magazine. Look, new cartridge report. This is when Kangaroo and Jungle Hunt were coming out. Like back then, this was like a June 1983 issue. So, you know, just fucking cool, man. This is cool stuff. You know, a lot of good games. Look, there's fan art. E.T. See, people played E.T., the E.T. video game. You know, people always say, oh, it's the worst game ever, but, you know, that's a myth. Here's, you know, a commercial for Jungle Hunt again. It's just one big damn commercial with some articles strewn throughout. Look, here's a catalog, like, you know, coffee mugs you can order. You know, like, you know, replacement joysticks and stuff that you can make yourself. Atari Age magazine, the magazine for the Atari video and all of us. There's like a commercial in the back for the trackball you can play. You know, remember the trackball? You play Centipede, you're playing Centipede, and then the skin of your finger gets stuck in between the ball and the machine. Ow! Right? Okay, so now here is the second to last magazine. Also an 80s magazine that I enjoyed as a kid. GoBots magazine, the premiere issue. Yeah, baby. Winter 1986, $1.95. Okay? And if you get bored with that, you can always get a glow-in-the-dark solar ball. But, yeah, this is amazing, you know. And, you know, Gobatron greetings from Leader One. You know, you turn the pages, you know, look at this. There's a commercial for Muppet Magazine by the same publisher. Look at this. There's letters and like fan art of kids and their art of their favorite GoBots and stuff. There's another more fan art of GoBots and stuff. Isn't that fucking silly ass shit? Yeah. Fucking A. Right here. Okay. Look at this. This article is called Down to Earth. And it's like a whole bunch of mini articles. Like, you know, there's book and movie reviews and whatnot. But let me read you this one. It's titled Special Event. Okay? It's not every day you can launch your teacher into space. Well, Concord, New Hampshire, high school students will watch it happen when their social studies teacher blasts off with the astronauts on board the Space Shuttle Challenger. On January 22nd, 1986, Sharon Krista McAuliffe will be chosen from 11,000 teacher applicants. Will keep a journal about her space experience. Yes, but will she be tested on what she learns? Well, if it's a test about the afterlife, yeah, maybe. And it's a bad joke, but that was the fucking all about the Challenger, Space Shuttle Challenger, you know, before it happened, the explosion. It's one of humankind's biggest pause in time when everyone watched in horror live on 1986 TV as the Shuttle Challenger blasted off and in orbit it exploded with everyone unfortunately dying. I'll never forget it, man. Crazy dark shit. I remember being in school and there was an announcement on the big speaker. Attention, you know, as you know, the Shuttle Challenger, you know, was basically happening today. Unfortunately, the news has reported that the Shuttle Challenger has exploded and everyone on board is dead. We're going to have a memorial today, and everyone gets to go home. Is going home early today, to grieve, you know, the loss, America's great loss. And it was such a insane, you know, like again, time pausing moment for everyone in shock. I went home and everyone was watching the repeats on TV, all over the TV. It was on. You know, shows were canceled just to bring you special news broadcasts about the Challenger, and they were trying to figure out why it exploded, and you would see it over and over again. You know, unfortunate teachers just dying, you know, on national TV. Nuts, dude. But that's just so crazy how GoBots magazine talks about it before it happened, and like, oh my god, if they only knew, right? Moment of silence. Anyway, which brings us to our last magazine. I appreciate you guys staying tuned, and you know, hopefully maybe you can subscribe. You know, I ain't gonna tell you what to do, but you know, fucking it would be nice. It helps my self-esteem. You don't want me to be depressed, right? So, you know, if you don't want to, that's cool too. But anyway, thank you for joining us, and here we have an issue of Punk magazine, the Ramones issue. This is the real deal, given to me by my almighty friend Jim Wagner, and this is from, I wonder if it says the year, but it's got to be at least 78, 77. Anyone knows what year this Punk magazine came out, let me know. But unbelievable. This is 1976. I see it right here. Punk, copyright Punk Publications, 1976. Look at that artwork. Just absolutely insane detail drawing of Joey Ramone for Punk magazine. And we'll get to the article. Here's the letters to Punk. Letters to Punk. Okay. Here is you know, the Punks have it out with David Johansen. like I guess interviews and stuff. And then here it is. Here's like the famous interview with like Ramones and stuff, like comic book format. Just crazy, ain't it? Just so cool, historical. Just so historical. There's like Tommy Ramone right there without his glasses being interviewed. Comic book format, just crazy stuff. Look at this, an R. Crumb interview with famous artist R. Crumb. I mean, all you crazy art fans out there, R. Crumb is a god amongst men. Sure, Boris and Natasha, article, Look at this. We go both ways. The spiral hair case. There's like an advertisement in Punk magazine, some hairstyle place. There it is. Look, there's more Ramones. Look at that Ramones article. Fucking hey, man, right? Crazy. Oh, here it is. Joey, Tommy, Dee Dee, and Johnny. Like say they introduce them and tell about them and stuff. Man, I hope you're getting all this because, once again, Cameraman King ain't with me today. I have the fucking cell phone propped up with my stand again. But yeah, look at it. It's just the Blitzkrieg bop. Just look at that. Beautiful, ain't it? Beautiful. Just the Heartbreakers. The band the Heartbreakers. Just all sorts of stuff. I want to wrap it up here, but here's like a comic strip, Star Trek. Kind of like a Mad Magazine parody. Pretty cool. Looks hilarious. I love. This makes me want to make my own magazine. Punk #1 is almost sold out. There's like ads and stuff. Oh man, just beautiful. Leathers, leather. Just awesome stuff. Punk graffiti contest. Punk graffiti. Just great stuff. So anyway, guys, that is my magazines I wanted to show you for today. In the future, I'm sure there'll be more comic book and magazine show-offs. But for today, this episode, that is all. So, God bless your bodily fluids. I'll see you next issue. Listen to me with magazines and literature on the brain. Hey, do yourself a favor and get yourself a physical magazine or comic book today. And take the time to read and imagine. Reading is a wonderful thing. You imagine where you're going. All right, see you later. Goodbye. Candyland. It's fantastic.